What's up guys, it's Paraly5er here, and today we're going to be playing the new Grounded update. First look at the brand new update. I've just jumped back into my medium difficulty world. As you can see, to start off with here, we're completing a bunch of brand new quests in the game, I guess. Look at all that science we're getting. 300, 600, 900 science for completing a mixer. 950, 2,500. Oh my god, that's a lot of raw science. It looks like there's a lot of new ways to get raw science in the game. I'm assuming the 2,500 was for disturbing the wasp nest. We just unlocked a bunch, or maybe that was for all mixers. I have no idea, because the science was kind of out of order there. But we just unlocked a bunch of raw science. We have 15,000. I don't know how much I had beforehand. But that's the first thing I've noticed that's different. We do have a new mutation slot, which is the Battle Buddies mutation, which reduces friendly fire. I haven't got that unlocked right now, but I'm sure we can go and do that. I'm basically going to take a look around and find everything new that I can inside of the world, and show off all the changes that are kind of gameplay based in the regular survival aspect of the game. I'm going to show them off today in this video. First thing I want to do, and the most satisfying thing I want to do, is stack all of my dandelion tufts. Oh my god. They do actually stack to 35. Okay. So they go with your consumable stack size, most likely, if I had to guess, as that also goes to 35. The next change you're going to see here is that slop has been removed, and it is replaced with soothing syrup. So the slop in my inventory is called Beefy Soothing Syrup now. Exact same thing, except the recipe has now changed, which I don't really like. There's no way to get rid of all the useless items in the game that you don't want. So this is going to cost 1 algae, 1 mushroom, and 1 of these items of your choice. I kind of prefer it just being 3 random items. It just made it so much easier for getting rid of stuff. Ooh, the sap collectors look different. The sap is all, like, clumped in the bottom middle there. That's definitely different than it was before, where it was all spread out. Let's take a look and see if I go and get coziness level 5. Okay, that didn't unlock anything, so there's only quests for, I think, levels 1, 2, and 3 of coziness. There's nothing too crazy in here. I'm not going to cover the new building stuff. There is a couple of new building things, but I'm going to make a separate video on that. This is more the survival aspect of the game. What is going on with my muscle sprouts? Oh, they all fell over. That's probably just a bug. That's probably nothing crazy. Let's see if I can find anything else new. Okay, so in the crafting menus here, we have a brand new item. We have the basketball. We also have the pupa basketball. Apparently, I don't have any pupa leather, because I must be broke. We don't have any pupa hide either. I don't know why I don't have any pupa. I thought I would. Let's equip this basketball. And as you can see, you can now dribble the basketball across the backyard. Oh. I don't think I have a hoop anywhere, funnily enough. But yeah, the basketball auto dribbles. You don't need to press any buttons to do it. But you can throw the basketball, like so, and it bounces around. And you can also do this. Oh. You can shoot the basketball. We finally have it. I mean, this was kind of obvious that this was going to come to the game eventually, because the basketball is right here on the shelf, and it has been since 1.2. And that's the pupa basketball, obviously, which we can craft. So I was kind of expecting that there was going to be basketballs eventually, and we finally got them. So that is now going to be possible. You can play basketball with your friends. So that is one of the new items. There's both a pupa and a regular version. I don't see the point of there being 2 versions. They're both the exact same speed, whatever that means. And it looks like they count as... Is that busting damage up there? I think that's busting. Or is that... It's like a hammer icon with a plus. I'm not exactly sure what that means, if I'm honest. Okay, so it's not the hammer icon, and it's not the axe icon. I don't know what type of damage type that basketball is, to be completely honest with you. I tried using it to hit things, and it never did any damage, but maybe it's just being a bit weird. I have no idea. Let's see what else we can find. Okay, so this next supposed change scares me a lot, and it looks like I left some wolf spider fangs in here. Yeah, it's the case. You can now do raids with almost any creature. You can do ladybugs. You can do... This just does ladybugs as well, but I'm assuming there'll be ladybirds in that. You can do stink bugs, which is going to include shield bugs. You can do roly-polies. You can do termites, which you could do before, but they now have termite kings in the termite raids for those going for gold cards. You can do Black Widow raids if you are mentally insane. You can do moth raids, again, if you are mentally insane. But what I want to try out is the Ominent Raid real quick. Because, you know, it's Ominent. It's kind of strange. It's not every day you get a raid from Ominent Laboratories. So let's see what's in the Ominent Raid. I'm assuming Orc Bugs, perhaps? Oh, no. Now, these have been changed. They now also have the weaknesses of the... They're not just weak to sour. They're also weak to... You can see that it says weakness, sour, but they're also weak to all the things that the regular enemy is weak to. So the Tiger Mosquito, for example, weak to fresh. I just got 300 raw science for something. Land 5 hits on an enemy with using their weakness. Okay. Oh, there is Robos. Look at that. There's a Tase T. Beautiful. He hurts, but he's also going to die. So you can get Robos from this raid. I don't know why you'd want to kill more robots. Do they give you science when you loot them? There's a good question. Oh, you can't loot them. Very smart. Very smart. They stopped you from doing that. There's another Robo down here. I just want to finish the raid and see if we get any rewards. Yeah, the parrying feels a little bit off. I don't know if that's just me, maybe. I haven't played the game in a while. So it could very well just be me being bad at Grounded. Oh, it's an RKR. Very dangerous. Right, let's get rid of the RKR. And you should see, yeah, look at that. 833 raw science for clearing the Waft Emitter raid. So if you want raw science now, all you've got to do is just spam Waft Emitter raids non-stop. You'll make a ton of raw science. You get some parts back. Obviously, you don't with the Orc raids, I don't think. Unless you... I guess you could get Orc receivers, but they're very rare drops from Orc creatures. So it's probably not an efficient way of farming raw science. But you can use them now to farm raw science, which is very, very cool. And you can also do just about any creature in the game, which is very, very cool. Speaking of raw science, it would appear one of my predictions has come true. Now, the first thing we're going to look at here is the shop. 7,000 more raw science you're going to need if you want 100% the game now. We have a new creature sign set, and we also have a new mutation, which is terrible, but you need to buy it to 100% the game. And we have a new Burgle quest system. As you can see here, if we scroll down, some of these are complete. You don't need to claim the quest to be able to do it, but it's not going to tell you what the quest is unless you claim the quest, if that makes sense. So we can go down here. Complete half the mixes is challenge number 82. Complete all mixes is challenge number 96. So there's a bunch of challenges here. So if we refill quests by pressing X here, you can see we now have the first 3 quests, and it's going to go through the apprentice quests until you've completed 20 of them, which is going to unlock the daily quests. So you can do daily quests, and you can also do the apprentice quests now, which are going to give you a bunch of bonus raw science. A lot of this is probably going to be killing the bosses in the game. These are non-repeatable. 5,000, that's probably the infected broodmother. This is amazing. This is, as I predicted, a revamped quest system. It is perfect. It means you can complete the game much, much, much quicker. And you do it just by killing, I'm assuming, one of every enemy, crafting a bunch of different stuff, exploring the yard, doing the burgle markers, I think, are in here. There's a bunch of different stuff in here. So it's very, very cool, and I like the way it's been changed. Very nice. Now, the next thing you're going to notice is there's a lot of molars on the map nowadays. And that is because once you collect a molar, it shows up on your minimap. This is going to make things 100 times easier for those of us that want to collect all the molars in the game. And if you're missing one singular molar, just pull up your map, pull up one of those maps online, and you can find it. If you don't like it being on the map, then boom. All the molars are now off the map. You can just toggle all the different stuff. Same with the scabbies, actually. I didn't realise. Scabbies are also on the map. Boom, toggled. You can't see them anymore. Isn't that beautiful? Field stations, you can toggle all this stuff you have been before, but you can also toggle these new 2 if you don't want to see all the scabbies. 50 scabbies, 123 milk molars. I'm pretty sure it's still the same number. I will double check that real quick. Yeah, look at that. It's still the same number. No new molars as of right now, which is a bit of a shame. I was hoping we would get a new trinket slot, but we don't seem to have one yet. Maybe in the future, though. We'll have to wait and see. Next, we have a bit of a smaller change. You can rename zipline, so you just press Y on the actual line itself, not the anchor. It has to be the actual line. And then, how do you type, though? What? Okay, there's no way to type. Maybe on console it'll work. I am on PC right now. So then you set the name of it, and it just names the actual line itself. I guess that's useful if you're looking at the different lines and you want to know where they go. Another important one is when you drop an item now, you can now customize how many of said item you want to drop. So if I want to drop 8 of my smoothies, then I can drop exactly 8. Another very nice change. Now, something that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes that I want to know the answer to is, does it still work? This is a very important question, okay? Okay, they didn't patch flying, which is pretty good. As long as I don't hit the wall and die here. Yeah, so you can still fly across the backyard, if you wanna. It's not patched right now. Will it get patched? We'll have to wait and see. But it's still working as of this second. I did mention, oh, there is definitely a delay on the shield, it feels like. Oh, crap, behind me. I did mention before that there is a change to healing now, so I'm gonna let myself get hit real quick. You take very little damage. This is medium difficulty, yeah. Okay, the game got a lot easier, because enemies do less damage now. So when you pop a bandage now, it's actually going to give you a relatively bigger heal than it used to. And the bandage heals more, but it doesn't last anywhere near as long as it used to. And there's a 4-second delay now on all healing items. So you'll notice if I drink a smoothie right now, the bar at the bottom is going down a lot slower than it used to. It is a 4-second delay between drinking smoothies, which is a long time. But that's fine, because they heal twice as much as they used to. It'll actually heal me all the way back up to full HP. But I'm taking so little damage here that I'm actually going to have to... Oh, you know what it is? The helmet, the Broody helmet, is now heavy armor, technically. So that's why I am taking so little damage. Come on. Right, so you'll see I'm really low on health. I pop a smoothie. It healed me all the way. All the way up to full health. So yeah, smoothies are a lot better than they used to be, but you also have a delay on them. So it kind of balances itself out. I think they're actually much, much improved, though. It's going to make the game a lot easier than it used to be. So we'll have to wait and see. A few more small changes. So previously, attacking used to do 50, 100, 150 in the combos, but now it does 100, 100, 125 on the third hit. You also have a chance to crit with every single hit of your weapon. Not just if you have a crit boosting effect. You can crit with any hit, even at the very start of the game. I don't know what the default crit chance is, but I would guess it's probably pretty low. Charged attacks now also do much more damage than they used to. Let's see how much it does. Obviously, this is spicy, so it's not really going to do much. But if I do it with the dagger, look at that. 1.5 bars from a dagger attack is quite a lot. But I still think regular attacking is going to be way, way more OP. We'll have to wait and see. They boosted thorns, but who cares? No one uses thorns. They increased the damage of turrets. Again, I'm not really going to show that off. I don't use turrets very often. I'm playing solo. Yes, another one that has been changed is the two-handed axes and swords. So you can see they now have a new attacking animation on them, which makes them about 20% faster, apparently. So yeah, the sword is the same. It swings kind of differently. And it's much faster than before, and it's very, very cool. In terms of creature weaknesses, we also have a change to the Black Widow. If I hide my face real quick, you'll notice it's weak to sour now, and it doesn't have any damage type resistances. It's just resistant to elements. Kind of sad. I kind of like the fact it was resistant to everything, but it does give another use for sour, and it does mean that... you know, it's going to be much easier to kill, probably, than it was before. You just need a sour weapon now. And apparently, the Blaster of the Moldy Matriarch has a new Apex Predator effect. So we're going to go and test this out real quick. Still as hard as ever to hit these guys. Okay, I don't see... Oh, it still hurts me as well. Fantastic. This is why we love this item. And let's see if we can get it to activate. I'm going to end up dying, probably, doing this. But I'm not seeing any effect activating while I'm using this. Let's keep trying. Oh, there we go. Mama Mold, embracing the power of infected broodmother, you spawn a friendly puddle of infection. Ah, so it grants me a puddle, and when I stand in the puddle, I get lifesteal. Oh, what else did I get? Oh, there we go. We got our puddle again. Okay, so we get... lifesteal and crit chance, very similar to when the infected broodmother stands in the liquid. Seems to last about 10 seconds, the buff, roughly. And those buffs are really, really good, actually. That does make the bomb slightly better than before, as you're going to crit a lot and you're going to steal a lot of HP, and it's probably the best lifesteal weapon in the game in terms of DPS. But it still bounces around all over the place, and it makes it kind of difficult to use, in all honesty. But it could make it much more effective than before. We'll have to do some testing and figure out how good it really is. Next up, we have acorns. Now, something you will now notice with acorns when you are playing the game, every single time you break one, you will always get the top. Finally! Look at that, every single one of them dropped to top. They changed it so it's 100% drop rate. Thank God. I can now finally get a bunch of acorn tops. I don't have to break 50 acorns just to get like 5 or 6 tops. You just get as many as you like by breaking all the acorns in the yard. Perfect. You're going to also notice a change in the acorn armor recipe to make it harder to get. So the leggings now require 4 algae, and the chest plate, which is up here, is also going to require 4 berry chunks. So you're going to have to go underwater into the pond, and you're also going to have to go to the hedge in order to craft the full set. The helmet recipe remains unchanged, needing might fuzz, which makes the armor much more difficult to get, which it doesn't really make sense, but at the same time it is probably the best tier 1 armor, so making it a little more difficult to get is fine, I guess. It's still going to be very easy to get. It's nothing too drastic, but just thought I'd point that out. Another change in the new update is with the aphid slippers. Previously, the sleek effect would make it so you used less stamina while sprinting. The new sleek effect is called ImCade, which says aphids consider you one of their own and no longer flee from you. So this means if you go near aphids, they will no longer run away. This is an amazing change, makes the slippers more useful than before, and they were already pretty goddamn useful, to be honest. So now if you're trying to farm for that speed droplet in particular, you're going to want to be wearing these slippers. It's going to make your life much, much easier for catching the aphids because they won't run away. And then for the final change, these 4 weapons, the 4 elemental base weapons in the game, now have new abilities when you get them to level 6. As you can see, there's a new little piece of text. Combo finisher attack sped up is on that. For the Kultana, we have combo finisher parry. For this, we have combo finisher AoE. And finally, for the Salt Morningstar, we have combo finish bleed. Now, I'm going to explain what all 4 of these do. First off, we have the Salt Morningstar, and this makes it so when you finish your combo, it's going to apply a brand new bleed effect to the target on the 3rd attack. Then we have the Mint Mace. This is going to make it so the 3rd hit applies a cool new minty AoE effect, which is going to hit multiple enemies at once. The Kultana is going to give you 2 buffs when you complete your combo for about 10 seconds. Perfect blocking enemies gives you damage boost, extends parry window. Those are the 2 changes made there, and it's a significant damage increase according to the patch notes. Then finally, the Sour Battle Axe, which is going to increase your attack speed. As you can see now, we're attacking much, much quicker, and now it's slowed down again. I'll show you that once more. So, this is how slow it is usually, and then when it procs, it goes much, much quicker. So those weapons have all been buffed. This makes all 4 of these weapons much better than they used to be, and significantly improves all of them. I actually really like this change. And that is the last change I'm going to cover in terms of like gameplay changes. In terms of other core changes, I do have the patch notes right here. As you can see, there has been some difficulty changes. So medium mode is now easier than it was. And even woe mode is easier than it was before. Although they did increase creature health a little bit, they also increased the player damage. I can't lie, I've played a bit of woe mode since the update's released, and it's very, very easy now. All 3 difficulties are very easy. I've been having an easy time on medium. Obviously, mild's already a joke, so the game in general is just getting a lot easier. Some consumables have a 4-second cooldown. We talked about this with the bandages, smoothies, and meals all have the cooldown, but you do have double the effects on the healing items. Bandages are massively buffed, and Thorn's damage is buffed as well. She also has 2 new attacks. I didn't show that off, but I'm sure I can get some gameplay footage of me fighting the Black Widow with her 2 new attacks. And she's not immune to poison anymore, so she's a little bit weaker. But she does have a ranged... Okay, so her 2 new attacks, I guess, are a ranged web that she can shoot, which spawns a Black Widowling, and she can eat a Widowling to heal herself and increase her attack speed, which is going to make her a bit stronger, to be honest. This is all the new factions you can spawn in using the Waft Emitter. We covered all of these. I showed you all the new ones we could spawn. You get more drops from the Infected Broodmother, thank God. I don't need to fight her 10 times just to craft all the stuff. They buffed a few mutations here. Sour Sensation buffed, Parry Master buffed, Spore Lord buffed, Apex Predator buffed. Oh, Apex Predator changed with the Multi-Matriarch, we showed that. Sharpshooter changed, Chopper, kind of nerfed, but not really, just a tiny bit. Javelineer buffed. There's a Milk Molder in the Hedge Lab. The one from the Minotaur Maze has been removed. Dandelions drop triple the tufts. Acorns always drop the tops. Feather Nodes always drop 2 feathers. Mixers and super mixers give you science on completion. New quests to do with the hedge. This is a weird one. Elemental upgrades now provide the same amount of damage boost as the Mighty Path. This kind of makes the Mighty Path completely pointless. I'm kind of confused why that's a thing, but apparently that's a thing. So I don't know why they've done that. They've buffed Thorns, again, shocker. They buffed the Prod Smacker, which is nice because it's a pretty good attack. The Pinchback has been changed, so the final hit of the combo will always trigger the effect, which makes it technically even better than it was before. We talked about these 4 weapons. The Mother Demon and Multi Matriarch sets have increased durability, damage resistance, I think that is, and they're considered heavy armor now. The Multi Matriarch armor set has been buffed massively, although you still damage yourself with the explosive. I probably won't use it unless it's like really, really good, but you're just going to end up blowing yourself up inevitably. Grub armor now increases damage dealt to tier 1 creatures. Clover armor now increases defense against tier 1 creatures. Clover armor set bonus has been changed to trickle regen. The 2 mosquito needles can now be used underwater. The Spider Fang and Widow daggers now poison enemies underwater, which doesn't really make sense because then it later says the Widow dagger now applies venom instead of poison. So does it venom or poison stuff underwater? That might be a mistake in the patch notes. Rusty Spear now applies infection to enemies underwater. The change to the Black Widow armor set, trickle regen and attack speed increase on kill, which makes sense because that's the same thing that the Black Widow's new attack does when she kills the Widowling. It gives her those 2 buffs. Black Widow armor status effect values normalized, they're all equal instead of being different pieces. Yeah, so previously the different pieces had different poison amount buffs. So it was like 20%, 30%, 40%. Now they're all going to be the same. It doesn't say what percentage it's going to be, but it's probably going to be in the middle at 30% if I had to guess. We talked about the aphid slippers. Clubs are faster, you'll have noticed that probably. Widow daggers now apply venom. Ammo-based stack size increased, I never even noticed that, but I barely use ammo anyway. Stuff despawns. They increased the refund chance of the Wasp Queen trinket, which I thought it was already pretty OP. You can just farm infinite arrows with it, so it is what it is. I guess just keep farming your infinite arrows. The Fletchling has been buffed as well. The Broodmother and Infected Broodmother trinkets now double the damage dealt by summons, which is pretty good. That would make the Mant pretty strong. The Mant trinket has been changed so that combo finishes grant a stacking crit chance buff until you crit. Could be good, could be bad. It's kind of counterintuitive. If you're running a crit build, then you're going to crit pretty often anyway, so there's no point in having a buff that cancels when you crit. But if you're running a non-crit build, then I guess technically it would be best to use on a non-crit build. They've rebalanced all the badges to just make them more positive and more negative in their different effects, which is pretty good. They did nerf the Speed Droplet and buff the Rotten Berry Charm as well. And Lint Rope is now a 1-to-1 ratio when being crafted. That is basically everything. The rest of these are optimization, bugs, fixes, crashes. So that is everything in the new update. There's a lot of stuff, and this is just the survival aspect that I'm covering here. We'll have 2 other videos, one that's going to cover all the new building stuff in the game, and one that's going to cover the basics of the playground mode, so make sure you look out for those. I'll have all those videos coming out around the same time on November 1st, which is when you're watching this one. So yes, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like on it, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you later.